They say don't pack your fears. What they mean is don't carry more than you need. Packing your fears is heavy. The cool thing about backpacking is you only have what you carry. But for many of us, we are carrying a lot more than just what's on our back. Some of us literally carry our fears, our hurt, sadness, and worry. 3 days before I left, life slammed the door. Hard. The kind of hit that makes you want to pull the covers up and stay in bed forever. But I had the permits, I had the time off. And more than anything, I had a theory I've talked about for years. That 3 days out in the woods is where the weight starts to lift. Honest truth, I didn't believe it this time. I felt completely hollow. But I put the pack on anyway. This trip wasn't a victory lap or an adventure vlog. It was a real-time experiment to see if the trail could actually fix what was broken in me, or if I was just running away with a heavy bag. Surrounded by beauty, but constantly in my head, renting space to the negative that doesn't even belong there. Sometimes life isn't fair. Sometimes it hits you with something that feels too heavy to carry, and you just want to give up. The worst part is the guilt of it. It feels like you're being robbed of the beauty right in front of your face. But going out to process the pain, it's a process. It isn't magic. It doesn't instantly vanish the second you step past that trailhead sign. It takes time. You have to know that going in. Beating yourself up for having those intrusive thoughts doesn't help. It just adds another 10 pounds to the pack. Letting those thoughts happen, letting them play out step after step, that's part of lightening the load. So you don't fight it. You just keep moving. Woke up at 5. First thoughts were right back to the hit I took. Pulled the sleeping bag up, went back to sleep. I woke up at 7 and told myself, move forward. The thoughts still came back from time to time. I felt sad, small, but not as much as yesterday. I actually started seeing the things around me again. And on a brutal uphill climb, that sadness shifted into anger. And I used it as fuel to push me up the trail. My wife collects rocks, so whenever I'm out on these solo trips, I'm always keeping an eye out for cool ones to bring home to her. But rocks get heavy fast. I've had to learn to only pick up the ones that are truly special, or wait until the very last day so I'm not hauling extra weight for miles. It reminds me of a story I heard once, that we're all walking this same path in life, some faster, some slower, and we're all carrying a backpack. Along the way, we pass these pebbles, stressors, obligations, harsh words, little traumas. Some of us stop, pick up every single one, and toss it in the pack. One pebble doesn't weigh much, but if you keep picking them up and refusing to put them down, the load builds up. You slow down until one day you hit a point where it feels so insurmountable you can't take another step. Standing on that trail, I had to ask myself, can I dump out this backpack and start moving forward again? Then I looked up at this mountain, this view, this campsite. These are the moments where I remember life isn't happening inside my head. It's happening right in front of me, if I just look. You aren't what those people tell you you are. You aren't your trauma. You aren't the worst thing that ever happened to you or the worst thing that you've ever done. You are a unique soul having a human experience. And those bad things, they aren't everything. Day 3. Woke up present, boiling water, drinking coffee, watching the sunrise. There's a massive climb on the map today, but for the first time, my head is actually right here. No complaining, no worrying, just the morning. The intrusive thoughts still try to stray in from time to time. But years ago, I was taught a technique to imagine a peaceful place where you felt completely whole and happy. For me, it's a specific meadow on the trail up to Aneroid Lake. There's a soft breeze, butterflies in the grass, and a lazy creek winding through it. Whenever one of those heavy thoughts comes up, I picture it as a leaf floating down that creek. I have two choices. I can reach into the water, grab that leaf, hold on to it, and let it consume all of my attention. Or I can just watch it float by. You acknowledge it, realize there's nothing more you can do with it right now, and let it float on down the stream. Then you turn your attention back to what actually matters, to what still brings you joy. Day 4. The thoughts try to creep back in. 1 step forward, 2 steps back. But on the trail, you become hyper-aware of the act of walking itself. It becomes automatic. It's just what you do. At home, if you told me I had to walk 10 miles today, I'd tell you hell no. But out here, you just do it. There's no other choice. You don't overthink it. You just put one foot in front of the other, no matter what happens. A few miles in, I met an old man on the trail. He had to be at least 80 years old. It was barely 9 in the morning, and he'd already climbed 4 steep miles. He was moving slow, but he didn't look tired at all. He was kind, soft-spoken, and just steady. Seeing him up there hit me. I'd bet anything that man has experienced moments in his life that brought him straight to his knees. But he survived them. He kept going. And he's still going now. The truth is, we've survived 100% of our worst days up to this point, no matter how hard they were. You will survive this too. And even if what you're facing is catastrophic, even if you were told you only had 7 days left to live, why waste a single second of that time on thoughts or people that don't matter? If I knew I only had 1 day left, would I give a damn about the thing that broke my heart last week? Not a chance. Backpacking won't change your circumstances. Problems are still waiting for you when you get back to the truck. But it gives you the space to dump out the heavy rocks you were never meant to carry. No matter what, keep moving forward, 1 step at a time.